It is not the length of the leg, but the quality of the chrome. But as well you know, the longest legs, they live in Tokyo. Hello and welcome to Let's Play Earth Defense Force 2017. Previously, we delved into a deep dark hole and then came back up and had some fun with some big spiders. This time we face something of an even grander scale. Let's read the mission description, shall we? Yes, we shall.
Select a different going into combat.
What the hell is that?
While the walking fortress is undeniably sizable, I feel they did it a minor disservice by positioning it directly below the mothership, an object so large that it is not bound by traditional laws of physics, or the skybox.
Come in, HQ! This is Scout 4. The mothership has moved from this location. We've also discovered a four-legged fire robot. What do you mean, four-legged weapon? It's already moving. It's heading right for the city. This is HQ. All troops, begin your assault. Destroy the four-legged walking weapon.
I'm not sure how doable that is right now, but let's get rid of these gunships before we continue. In previous episodes, I've compared these gunships to the sources that appeared in the PlayStation 2 games. I'm now going to do so directly with the power of picture-in-picture technology. This is editing at its finest, my friends. Soak it in. Soak it all in.
Just shows how huge the damn thing is.
Yeah! Oh man! It's got laser cannons!
Going home after this.
HQ! The fortress is attacking us with laser cannons! We're all gonna die if we don't do something quick! Troops, take out the enemy laser cannons!
While the laser pimples have become our priority right now, they will not remain our priority for very long. There's a very little reason not to take them down while we have the chance though. Provided we can get our bullets past the giant shovel-shaped shield protruding from the fortress's face. Try saying that 7 times fast, I dares you. This does of course raise the question as to whether a fortress can truly have a face. I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know this fortress does in fact have a laser for a penis. And it's full of robots. There are few worse places to fight Hectors than on a massive open beach, so let's try and deal with them as swiftly as we can.
We can't allow the enemy into the city. Stop them here at all costs.
Fortunately, we have a pair of animals with us to make these Hectors not a problem anymore. The Buffalo shotgun and the Stingray rocket launcher, of course. Not really animals, but weapons of great deadly proficiency. Explode, you terrible robots. Explode before you kill me, please. Thank you. Shotguns remain a very powerful weapon against Hectors, especially from a close to medium range where they are most effective. The Stingray acts as our backup for when we get a little too far away from them for the shotgun to actually do any damage. Also has the nice side effect of being able to hit multiple Hectors when they spawn in close to each other, and oh dear, here come the gunships.
Gunships are taking off from the fortress.
Being swarmed by gunships while you're attempting to take down Hectors is a very bad situation to be in. Led to a couple of deaths on this level, which you'll be able to see through the magic of editing. Ooh, exciting.
This is Scout 4. Something just flashed from the back of the fortress. It's gotta be a weapon. Scout 4, we need more details. We think it's a plasma cannon. Over 300 feet in length. Impossible. A plasma cannon that size can't possibly exist.
damage report. A large explosion has been confirmed 6 miles away in the city. The destruction has a diameter of several hundred feet.
If we don't stop that plasma cannon, this whole region will be destroyed. All combat-capable Ranger teams head over there now.
The chances of plasma cannons being so big are millions to one, but still, they are. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about those gigantic plasma cannons at this very moment, for the fortress has toddled off into the sea. It's up to us to deal with all these gunships though, lest we get killed by them. Generally, gunships are more of an annoyance than anything. Swarming around you in great numbers, they will very slowly chip away at your health. If you were to stand still, an individual gunship would probably take like a minute to actually kill you. You know, depending on your difficulty level and the amount of health you have upon your person. We've got not very much health, so we can't afford to be tickled by their lasers for too long. But as you can tell, this level is all but over. These very few last dregs of enemies can do little to stop us now. They have very little chance of taking us down before we sneeze enough bullets in their face to send them off to Ravager Valhalla. The place where Ravagers go when they die. To do ghostly battle on ghostly battlefields with ghostly Ravagers. I guess. Or maybe they go and reconquer ghost planets. The planets they've already conquered. But they kill the planet and then they go to Valhalla and they kill it again, bringing it back into the real world so they can conquer it once more. Fiendish. With that, our mission is over for this time, but not for long, for the fortress still lives and we must deal with it anew. In Mission 15, Blockade.
Select a difficulty. Initiating operation. This is our latest video footage. The fortress has infiltrated the city. We have reports of significant damage in the area. Study the footage closely. The fortress is equipped with extremely large plasma cannons. There's no telling how much damage these weapons can do. They need to be destroyed at once.
The fortress is headed for Tokyo. You have to stop it here and now. This is Storm 3. The fortress is just too big. We can't stop it alone. This is HQ. We've ordered all Ranger team units in the area to your position. They should arrive there soon. This is Storm 3. Roger that.
As you can see, taking down this large turret in the center of the fortress's lower chest area is my main priority at the beginning of this mission. We're going to want to stand sort of underneath and behind the fortress quite a lot in this mission. Goodbye tree. And this turret is our main opponent from doing that. It's gone now and that's great, but here come the robots.
Ravager's four-legged fortress has launched a cannon attack. It is believed the whole of eastern Japan is within its attack range. Anyone in this area is advised to evacuate immediately.
You heard the lady. Everybody to the west side of Japan, please. This map we're currently playing on is a brand new one, the Tokyo Suburbs map. The third city-based map, of course. This one's a lot more suburban than the last two urban areas we visited.
This is Ranger 47. We've caught up with the fortress. Good job. Begin your assault. The Ranger teams are arriving now. Storm 1, you give the orders. Rendezvous with the Ranger teams and take down the fortress.
As we can see from the miniature map in the corner there, some EDF fellows have indeed spawned in. The general is no liar. Let's head over to them as it's become a little bit fraught over here. This level has a bit more cover than the beach we previously faced the fortress on. but not quite enough cover in this open area over here. Also, more soldiers means more targets for the Hector robots to go after that aren't me. This is the best thing to happen. Here's our soldiers, let's go say hello.
That's it. Storm 1, we've come to help you out. We can't reach him from here. Captain!
Okay, these guys might not be the most fantastic help, but at least the heat is off me somewhat, so let's deal with these robots and mind the car. The best defense against Hectors is a good offense, for they cannot get their arms to point at you when they're taking damage. It's already working, they're distracted, and they're exploding. Hooray! More soldiers have arrived just in time for a bumload of gunships to try and laser us to death. We'll be disobeying that order for the time being. We have no use for more EDF soldiers at the moment. I think we have things well in hand with the two that we've got left. Let's dispose of these two Hectors before they come over and hector us a bit too much. It is about this point in the game that I really think it starts to come into its own. The action has built up to this point. We've got a very large walking fortress going around, and that's not something you see very often in games. An actual enemy that's quite so large, given free reign around a stage. This game does scale immensely well, from the amount of enemies you face to the size of the arenas that you fight in. It may not be the most technically impressive game, but I think it's certainly something you don't see very often in games. It's not a game that fools you into thinking you're fighting a massive battle, it's a game that makes you participate in massive battles. The EDF soldiers, much improved in this game, especially with voice acting for the English version, really help sell the idea. And around about now it's seeming quite hopeless for the human race. How can we hope to compete against such a incredible enemy? How indeed! We've had another wave of gunships, and more Hectors are coming out of the fortress. It's probably no spoiler at this point to tell you that we're not actually going to face the fortress directly this time. In this mission we must simply survive its various attacks and to take care of the enemies it drops.
Initiate combat immediately.
A new Ranger team enters the fray just as the previous entrants, Ranger 8, are wiped out by Hectors in the near distance. Those Hectors are now after us.
This is Ranger 5-1. We caught up with the fortress. Attack the fortress.
As you can see in the background, Ranger 43 are faring little better than Ranger 8 did.
Do your best to rendezvous with the Ranger teams.
That is another order we are going to ignore. We do not want to face the full wrath of all these Hector robots at the same time. The Ranger teams being on the other side of the map will distract them from us, hopefully long enough for us to do some damage. We can probably take on one or two of them at a time, but 5 Hectors coming right at you is not a good thing. You would have to have some quite impressive range to be able to deal with that effectively in this mode with these weapons. Thankfully the Ranger teams are actually doing a pretty good job of taking down some of these Hectors, if not weakening them for us to take out later. That guy saw us just for a moment, but then he died. An additional swarm of gunships has started to drop in from the walking fortress's terrifying underbelly of many things. This led to an unideal situation in a previous playthrough.
What's going on, EDF2017, respond immediately. Ranger 8, do you copy? Ranger 8!
The Ranger teams are down. The fortress is still advancing.
Damn. Everyone listen up. This operation is canceled. Don't touch the fortress. Eliminate all other enemies in the area and withdraw from the area. This is Ranger 23. We've arrived and are initiating combat.
Hello to you, Rangers. You're a little late. Arriving at the battle after the order to retreat has sounded. The General wasn't quite correct there, as there are still some members of at least one Ranger team on the map. Or at least they were when he was talking about them. They're all dead now, of course, except for the new guys, who are going to be not much use. What a shame. I do wonder if they had died a little sooner, whether the General would have called out their particular call sign as well as the first two Ranger teams. Not sure how complicated the scripting in this level is in terms of voice acting. You definitely can't complete this level without being ordered to retreat, however, which seems to be a common theme recently. And no wonder, given all the terrible enemies we're facing. There's not many of them left at the moment, however. We want to thin out these gunships as much as possible before the Hectors get to us. We've fortunately landed in an area with a lot of buildings remaining, so we should have a bit of cover from the Hector's terrible long-range cannons and inaccurate fire, although not much as we've already been exploded a bit. We're going to want to try and find some health. We have reached the edge of the map, that is no good. Let's head back a bit. Now that we're sort of fighting Hectors on their own almost, I'd like to compare them to the Walker enemies from Earth Defense Force 1 and 2 on the PlayStation. Here they are in the corner. You can see they're probably the most radical redesign of enemies for this game. Barely recognisable in their new forms from their original. They did serve the same function and had quite similar attacks. The spinning orbs of explosions were sort of came round the outside of the thing rather than from guns, as did the spray of non-damaging bullets. We really need to get some health, that is a problem. See if we can't take down the final Hector before it takes us down. We did, we're the best, hooray! We do want to find some health, but there's only 2 enemies left. Scratch that, 1 enemy. We're probably alright. Hooray. We did it. We're the best. See you next time. Ta-ta.